have got the try! What a try for France!
Green was a striker, not a right winger.
Oh, Bruno! Oh, it's 4-2. Lewandowski's got a hat-trick too, and it's in! And RB Leipzig has scored! Oh, and he has as well! Oh, and he went in!
Hey, who? Not John. I don't think it's John. It's not Hayden. It's
32-30! Oh my god! Wow! Oh, take a bow. I'm standing up.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sports live stream watch along of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. I know we're in 2022, but let's not forget that this tournament was delayed by a year, but the match has just got underway as you just tune in. Do get in touch on our live chat page. Thank you for joining us, and we'll keep you updated on this game between now and when we have a winner. Of course, there has to be a winner tonight, as this is for a place in the semi-finals, and I believe that whoever wins this will play Cameroon on Wednesday night. I have to double check on that, but I assume that's the case because Cameroon, the hosts, beat Gambia earlier today 2-0. A comfortable win probably at the end in that quarter-final, and I'm gutted because I'm doing a sweepstake with some of the members of Let's Talk Sport, and my team was Gambia, and I'm absolutely gutted, but what can you do? Anyway, let me just change my screen for a moment because I've noticed my webcam is a bit delayed when I speak. Nope, it seems to be a little bit delayed. Hang on, let me just sort out my cam. It's due to Wi-Fi, sadly. Let's try this again. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Probably the best I can get you right now. But anyway, the match is underway, as I said. Just a minute and a half gone so far. But get in touch. Be happy to read your messages and vote on the poll. We've asked you who's going to win. Currently, it's Tunisia that are the favourites on our fan poll. 75% compared to Burkina Faso's 25%. Burkina Faso are playing in all white tonight. Tunisia in their natural home colours of all red. Tunisia, of course, a team, let's not forget, back in the 2000s when I was growing up watching football, they were at the 2006 World Cup, and I think they were at the 2002 World Cup as well. So, you know, they've had a few World Cup appearances in the last 20-odd years. They were at the last World Cup in 2018. They were in the same group stage as my country, England. I remember it took a stoppage time late winner from Harry Kane, a header from a corner, to get England the vital 3 points in the opening game to the tournament for them. So Tunisia, not a team to mess with. Burkina Faso, runners-up of the Africa Cup of Nations in 2013, and I think they lost to Ivory Coast in the final. I might be wrong, but I think it was in a penalty shootout, and that was in South Africa. Meanwhile, Burkina Faso have a dangerous free kick on the near side. One-man wall. Ball comes in. First man it hits of Tunisia, and I think that's gone behind for a corner. No pressure on him, but as long as he kicked it the opposite way, that was what the defender has to do. So yes, get in touch. Greg Livingston says, "Hi Jamie, how you doing?" I'm very well, Greg. Good to hear from you. Burgoyne says, "We're only here for the Jamie." Is that me or you? Best first name in the world. Short corner for Burkina Faso from Balia. And I don't know what that was. He got the ball into the box, then tried to play it across the face of goal. I think it was Dango with the last touch, and I'm not sure what he was trying to do with that. And it's gone out for a throw-in on the far side for Tunisia. Yeah, I'd imagine that this is probably quite a tight one for some people predicting this game. My scoreline prediction is below, folks. I'm going for Tunisia win, 2-1, but after extra time. So remember, if there's a draw after 90 minutes, we go into 15 minutes each of extra time, 15 minutes per half that is, and then if it's not decided then, it is the nerve-wracking penalty shootout, which is not the way to go, is it? But you've got to get a match done and dusted at some point. Let's not forget, though, the golden goal. Golden goal. Didn't last long, did it, that rule? In case you don't know, kids, golden goal was basically, as long as you scored within extra time, basically it was next goal wins. So whoever scored the next goal in extra time, that was it. That was the winning goal, and the match would finish the moment that goal was scored. Famously known for being used at the Euro 2000 final, when David Trezeguet scored for France to help them get the double 2 years after winning the World Cup on home soil, beating Italy in the final in Euro 2000. Oh, Tunisia already have a chance here. It's into the box, and that was a late challenge from Khazri. He went right into the goalkeeper with his studs up, I think. And sadly, both players are down at the moment. I think it was Sakni, actually, at the end, who went into the Burkina Faso goalkeeper. Now, be interested if the referee at all does look back at this. Looking back at the replay. Apologies, folks, if you are witnessing any buffering in this stream. Sadly, the Wi-Fi doesn't seem to be up to it. It was very slow when just trying to set everything up. It was only an hour ago I decided to do this stream, to be honest with you, but we do hope to do at least 1 or 2 streams tomorrow. Well, we're definitely doing the Australian Open men's final, which is at 8:30 in the morning. That is English-British time, between Rafael Nadal, who's going for a record-breaking 21 Grand Slams, but can Daniel Medvedev stop him in his tracks as he's trying to win his 2nd Grand Slam, and also a 2nd Grand Slam in a row. Let's not forget he beat Djokovic at the US Open final back in September. Well, meanwhile, this game has been paused because Sangaré is injured, and that is the Burkina Faso goalkeeper who sadly got onto the end of the Tunisian forward. So I do hope my Wi-Fi gets a little bit better for you lot, because I don't want you lot to see a bit of buffering on the stream. I know that would put you off. There's quite a few Burkina Faso fans wearing their colours, wearing all sorts of outfits in the stands, making some noise. Great to see. But yes, Gambia are out. Latest team to go out of the tournament. 2-0 to Cameroon. Gutted as a Gambia fan for this tournament. Well, the 2nd goalkeeper for Burkina Faso was warming up on the sidelines. Will he come on? At the moment, their main keeper is trying to stretch his legs, and he's going to take a short kick from his goal kick. Well, I guess it's technically a free kick because of the foul. So it's now with Karazi. Now Toure. We've had a few good Toures over the... Well, the main Toure we all remember is the Yaya Toure of Ivory Coast. What a player he was for Ivory Coast, Man City, Barcelona. Not a bad career. Won the Champions League with that Barca team, I think. So Tunisia have a throw-in. But yes, in terms of other watch-alongs tomorrow, I think we're going to try and do both Africa Cup of Nations matches. They're on at 3 PM and 7 PM. British time, that is. And also Canada versus USA in the World Cup qualifying. A big game that is. That's at 8 PM UK time. So that's tomorrow night. It'll be a massive game, that. Especially when there's not many games left to try and get into the top spots to qualify for the Qatar World Cup. But yes, a week tomorrow is the Cup of Nations final. It's now with Tapsoba, one of the Burkina Faso defenders, in his own half. Now we've tried to look out, but Ifa's headed it for Tunisia. Has that gone out for a throw? And it has for Tunisia outside their box. Crystal Rose says, so upset about Gambia. Yeah, they gave it a good go. It was Gambia's. What I didn't know until this morning was that this tournament was Gambia's first appearance at the Africa Cup of Nations. So I think they did well to at least get one knockout win. Got out the group stages comfortably. I think they'll be proud. They'll be gutted, but they were against a stadium full of Cameroon fans, I'm sure, with this tournament taking place there. So Cameroon just one win away now from reaching a dream final in their home tournament. So Tunisia with a throw-in. It's gone onto the edge of the box from the end of the throw-in. And that was well intercepted by Aratara. Now Kabor is fouled there and has won a free kick. Greg Livingston saying, what are your thoughts on Amad Diallo going to Rangers from Manchester United? I watched the game and I thought he was decent. I've not seen any clips of his performance today, but I know he scored at least one goal on his debut, which is just typical. As a Man United fan, I'm used to seeing all these players go out on loan and then they go and do the business elsewhere. Lingard is a good example from last season with West Ham. Now, Burkina Faso on the left wing here. They've kicked the ball into the box. It's gone onto the other side outside the penalty area. Now Sangir does cross it in. Will he find anyone? It's on the edge of the box. They might have a range to shoot. No. Said they're passing it across to the right field with Gura. Now Altara to Torre. That's Blatty Torre, by the way. But no, I need to see it. But I do think, I mean, Amad Diallo needed to go out on loan. He wasn't getting any game time at Man U. Oh, ball into the box. It was across the face of goal. No one got to the end of it. No deflection whatsoever. And it's gone out for a throw-in on the near side for what I would imagine is for Tunisia. But in terms of Amad Diallo, I watched him back in December at Old Trafford. And he was playing against the young boys in the Champions League. The match was kind of pointless because United had already won the group stage. So Rangnick decided to rest a few players and play some of the secondary team players. And the problem I had with Diallo was, even though I was quite far up in the stadium, there's nothing of him. Like, there's no muscle there. And I think that's my problem with Diallo. He just needs a bit of muscle in him. And I think he could turn out to be a great player. I mean, Solskjaer signed him, back in 2020, I think it was, from Atalanta. Atalanta have produced some great players from their academy and youth setup, and they've made a lot of money from nothing with some of these players. And I honestly think, Diallo could be very exciting to watch. And he scored a great header once for United in a Europa League tie against, I think it was either Roma or AC Milan. So, he does have spark in him, there's no doubt about that, but he does need to go out on loan, and I think the Scottish Premiership's perfect for him. Be good to track what he does between now and the end of the season. Hopefully, he'll learn a thing or two. Of course, the other transfer news is that, if we're talking Man United, is Donny van der Beek. Apparently he wants to go out on loan at least, but he could go for good. Crystal Palace and Everton looking into him. There was a shot there from Yago. Took a deflection. It was a comfortable save for the Tunisian goalkeeper. Crystal Rose also says, eating an amazing fluffer nutter sandwich, cuddling and watching Jamie, an okay Saturday. Of course, where Crystal lives in America, it's just only 2:15 in the afternoon over there. You've still got a lot of Saturday to look forward to. So, free kick here for Burkina Faso. Yes, I remember the early 2010s. Burkina Faso had quite a promising squad, which, as I said before, they made it to the Africa Cup of Nations final. And just missed out on penalties to Ivory Coast, if my memory serves me right. Well, just as we talk about it, Coffee is injured. That is the Burkina Faso goalkeeper who had that collision with the Tunisian forward. Sadly, it's come back to haunt him. And he's lying down at the moment, being checked out, and I honestly think he might have to go off here and be replaced by the other goalkeeper. And he is warming up, the number 23, so I think he's ready to go if he's needed. Greg Livingston says, do you think Amid Diallo will be getting a start next season? Where would you have Mason Greenwood, who could play on the right side? I mean, look, it's only been one game. I don't think Diallo would... I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Diallo... Well, I mean, he's on loan till the end of the season, so that's his plan now until the summer. I wouldn't be surprised even if Diallo has a good stunt. He might even have another loan spell next season. I wouldn't be surprised. But if he does well at Rangers, then maybe he at least gets himself consistently on the bench in the starting lineup next season. He's a kid, you know. He's got a lot to learn. I'm sure United have a long-term plan with him if it all goes to plan. But I've seen so many United players come and go since Fergie left, and you just never know if they're going to come out good or not. So all I can say is I wish him the best of luck. I love it how the Burkina Faso assistant manager is just looking on his phone. It's like he's scrolling on Instagram thinking, you know, this game's boring. This game's got nothing but pauses at the moment because of my goalkeeper getting injured. Well, it looks as though Coffee is going to continue. But how many more times can they check up on him? Because at some point the Tunisians will get a bit annoyed and will be getting tired of the match pauses. That does happen, and at some point you got to take them off. Meanwhile, though, Burkina Faso have got a free kick, and he's going to go for it. It went under the wall, and they'll have another short rebound, and it's gone straight to Ben Zaid, the Tunisian goalkeeper. Greg also says that he watched the Sheffield United game and going to watch the Masters Dart. Is the Sheffield United game finished, or are they playing as we speak, Greg? I'd imagine that's back in the Championship. No Premier League this weekend. None of the top European League matches going on. Pretty much a weekend off, it seems. But in a way, it's technically an international break with the Americas teams playing. And Burkina Faso have a free kick. What's the latest on the poll? Well, at the start of this stream, Tunisia were the favourites. And they were on top on our vote. But now it's Burkina Faso. It's changed to Burkina Faso leading at 57%. Tunisia at 43%. So Coffee still on the pitch. Has just taken a free kick here. And Greg says that Sheffield United are playing as we speak. 2-0 Sheffield. Who are they playing? We can probably at half-time quickly check it. Half-time scores, but mainly results that we've seen today. The Football League in England has been going on, and the Scottish Premiership and such. Now, I think originally the Scottish Premiership was supposed to have this weekend off, but they brought the winter break forward because of all the COVID cases that they had pretty much during Christmas with that Omicron spreading around. Now with Dooney. Now Haddadi. Bron. Torres dispossessed. Good long ball down the left wing. And now to Atara. Ball in. Tunisia deal with it. It's with Drager. He'll just boot it out as far as he can. And it's gone that far out. It's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper of Coffee. But good to see him carry on despite the setback he's had already in this game. Oh, long ball Had to be dealt with there by Banzid, the Tunisian goalkeeper. He had to go out of his box and just header the ball into the opposite direction. Now Tunisia on the counter, 4 against 2, and they are outnumbered, and they have lost the possession. Greg's saying that it's Peterborough that Sheffield United are playing. Now here's a fact for you, and I don't mean to name and shame Peterborough, but I recently found out like the top 10 worst places to live in the UK, and apparently, well, England, I think, just England, let's be specific, let me be completely sure with you lot. Yeah, Peterborough is apparently the worst place to live in the UK, well, or in England, but yeah. It's and apparently it's been like that for a few years now, which I'm not going to comment because I've never been to Peterborough. I've never been at all. Never had a reason to go there. Never been to the ground. Never been to the club or anything like that, so I'm not sure. Anyway, Tunisia with a cross in finds no red player. They've still got it. This time it's on the left-hand side with Haddadi. And Greg also says, I've got my ticket for the derby on Tuesday night, the Edinburgh derby. Is that Hibs versus Hearts? I do have a soft spot for Hibs. Probably because George Best once played there. I think he only ever played 17 games, but it looks as though we've got our first corner for Tunisia. On the far side, it'll be taken. It was just a cross in that was headed in behind for a corner. They're just showing the replay of Banzid having to come out and header the ball in the air from the edge of the box. So Burkina Faso have got at least one man on the goal line with the goalkeeper. Corner's another short one. Cross now comes in and it's straight to the hands of Coffey. Not a bad delivery, but it was a bit too high and it was just simple enough for Coffey to pick up. He rolls it out to his left. As you can hear in the background on this stream, we've got the atmosphere noise going on in the stadium tonight. Just like kind of similar to what we had with the South Africa World Cup. When you had all those vuvuzelas. It's not as noisy as it was, but you can tell people are allowed to bring a few little instruments, and we've been hearing it throughout this tournament. It's great to see. Greg says, yes, Hearts versus Hibs. Always put Hearts first. I'm really confused, Greg. I thought you were a Man City supporter. Well, Burkina Faso have just had a corner. It was another waste. So many corners in modern day football that are well wasted. I can't. It's hard to watch sometimes. As a Man United fan, we don't know how to score from set pieces. Greg says, Man United play next Friday in the FA Cup, playing Middlesbrough in round 4. Yes, I'm going to that. I've got a ticket. Oh, good chance here by Allah. Oh, it's straight to the keeper, I think. And I think it's deflected off the keeper and gone behind for another corner. I thought for a moment he might have just put the ball under the keeper and found the net. Got past his man. Let's have a look again. It was saved by the keeper. Keeper couldn't keep hold of it. He just had to take the ball in and just hope that it went out. Can't believe it. It's already 24 minutes gone. Poor corner. Hit the first man outside the box. Still with Burkina Faso. Now Ifa. crosses it. Well, I say crosses it in. It's gone out for a goal kick at the end. Interesting game so far. I'd probably say Burkina Faso look the first team to score so far. Stuart Davis says, my favourite brother from another mother. You forgot to that. If you need to remember that line as well, Stuart. Stuart will be joining me first thing in the morning at 8:30 for the Australian Open men's final between Rafael Nadal and Daniel Medvedev. So do join us if you want on YouTube for the watch along. Should be fun. And yeah, Rafael Nadal trying to become the first male player to reach 21 Grand Slams. And that would mean he'd be one ahead of Federer and Djokovic, but Medvedev might just stop him with the form that he's on. And here comes Tapsoba. He goes for a shot and it's blocked. And it goes back to the centre circle. Alright, so Greg says that he is a City fan, but I live in Scotland, so support Hearts. Why City, may I ask, Greg? I always think it's best to just have one club. I'll always have a soft spot for Stoke. That's my... If I had to have a second team, it'd be Stoke. Well, there's a free kick here for Tunisia. Just about 40 yards out from their target. There is 2 quarter-final matches tomorrow in Africa Cup of Nations, and we should hopefully be able to cover both games on the channel. Seb True will be doing one. Will be doing the evening kick-off, which will be Senegal playing. I believe he'll be doing that with our good man Luke Tanner as well. It's been a while since we've had Luke on a watch along. For any of you regulars who come onto the channel. But yes, Canada USA I'm looking forward to tomorrow night in a World Cup qualifier. Massive game that is. We'll look at the table I think at some point just to see how... Oh, good free kick straight at the keeper. Had to tip it over the bar. It'll be a corner for Tunisia. Great strike though from the number 10. Coffee looking like he's well recovered from his setback early on in this game. The knock-on that he received from the number 10, funny enough. Tried to give him another one there. Of how powerful he hit that. I do have a request from Crystal saying give a shout to my daughter Emma to make her feel better. Yes, hopefully she'll get better soon. I think sadly it's COVID that has struck her, but I hope she's well. That free kick straight to the goalkeeper there as they show the replay. Burkina Faso have a throw-in. And foul again towards Tunisia, and they'll have a dangerous free kick here on the right wing. That number 10 causing Burkina Faso a few problems, a few things to think about. Luke says that the office floor has been confixed. He has confirmed it, folks. So no excuses if he's not there tomorrow. If work call him again, I will kill him. When Luke gets called for work, it's like the bat light, you know, the spotlight he has in Gotham. There's like a light for Luke's beard. So his symbol is his beard. And that'll be in the sky where he lives. And if he sees that, that means work is calling for him. That's why he missed the Bayern watch along last weekend. Oh, no. Gore is intercepted. Tunisia playing around on the edge of the Burkina Faso box there. Yes, in case you were wondering what the starting lineups were, they're on the side of my screens for Burkina Faso on your left, Tunisia on your right. So, yep, Tunisia there, Burkina Faso there. Those were gathered from the Africa Cup of Nations official website. So that I'd imagine those formations are kind of correct. Just wish they put their names next to their numbers. Greg says, the reason why I support Man City is that I went to a City game on a school trip. That's the reason why. It's funny, other big clubs you wouldn't have been able to get a ticket because they sell out, no problem without school requests. Man City always need to find people on the street to buy their tickets. And you may think I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Oh, that's a free kick. I think that'll be towards Faso. No bookings yet in this game as we reach half an hour. Not really been much fouls in this game so far, but watching, well, I didn't watch it, but keeping it when tracking the Gambia-Cameroon game earlier, Gambia had 3 bookings before the game had even reached half time. Oh, and that was a poor free kick. Long ball into the box, straight to the keeper's hands. So Burkina Faso in their own box at the moment, just passing the ball around between the 2 centre backs and the goalkeeper. Got a question here from Greg saying, which team has surprised you the most in the Bundesliga this season? For me, it's Union Berlin. I think they are in the Champions League places. They are 4th. Yes, it's funny though. I feel like Union Berlin have been building for this because the last 2 seasons, it's always a horrible place to try and win at, as in their stadium. It's a fantastic old-fashioned football stadium. Proper fans, proper club. Small little ground, but my word, it's not an easy place to go and win. I'm sure Bayern Munich plays, for example, will tell you that. In terms of surprises, I know this may sound a bit odd, but I must admit, I didn't think Borussia Dortmund would be up there. I honestly thought they were going to have a similar season to what happened last year, which was they'd get the Champions League place, but it'd be a struggle for them to get it. And in all fairness to them, they've won games just to make sure that they've kind of stayed in touch with Bayern Munich at the top of the table. It's just not easy to win against Bayern Munich. And if Bayern Munich, I think if Bayern Munich win the Bundesliga this season, then that is the famous 10. They would have won it 10 years on the trot. Which, don't get me wrong, great achievement, but you don't want to see that. You want to see competition. You want a bit of mix of different winners. I mean, I'm not the NFL's biggest fan, but I can at least tell you from the NFL, when it comes to the Super Bowl, there's always a different winner each year, and it's very open. So you don't really know what to expect at the start of each season there. Which, by the way, in 2 weeks' time, we are going to be, not next weekend, the weekend after Super Bowl Sunday. We'll be doing a watch-along late at night here in the UK. It'll be myself, Liam Bond. It'll be his debut doing a watch-along with us. Crystal, who's in the chat right now, broadcasting from Ohio in America. And well, just as I talk about all that, there's a wasted corner there by Tunisia, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to the team in white. And also, Mandy will be making a debut along with Liam. So you've got 2 Brits, 2 Yanks on the stream, so it should be a good one. They haven't decided who's in the Super Bowl yet. Those matches take place tomorrow night, both matches. I need to remember who's in it. I think the Chiefs are in it. Bengals, I think. Rams. I forgot who the other one is. Either way, it should be fun. I do quite like... Oh! What happened there? Now, I think one of the Burkina Faso defenders picked up a short pass from the goalkeeper. And because he wasn't quick enough, the Tunisian forward got to the end of his kick. But luckily for the goalkeeper and the defender, the deflection went wide for a goal kick again for Burkina Faso. Otherwise, that could have been a very embarrassing moment, which you don't want to see. I don't like short goal kicks. I hate playing from the back. I know it's quite modern in football these days, but I just hate it. I've seen it too many times. Seen it too many times when you see mistakes like that, and it can just cost a game. I mean, let's not forget last season Liverpool literally lost to Man City at home because of 2 goals from playing from the back. Both mistakes, I think, were from, Alisson, who's a great goalkeeper, but even with his experience, he fucked up. Now, there's appeals for a penalty. Well, no, I don't think there is. They're showing a replay, but I don't think anyone's appealing it. It was simply a trip in the box, but there was no threat. The ball was nowhere near. But when I say that, the ball was already out of play, so it wouldn't have mattered. Crystal says she feels so loved. Thank you, and always. Hope you're well, Emma. Get better soon. I'll tell you what, kids say the funniest things. I was on the phone to Emma yesterday, and she said to me, she taught me a few things. Never eat a snake's head. Didn't know that. I know you can eat snake. I hope I never do. I hope I never have to, unless I get stuck in a jungle, maybe. Where is the nearest jungle if for someone like me? I'd love to know. Not that I'd ever go there. What's the point? I just feel like if you go to a jungle, you're messing with nature. And they're all out to get you. So, goalless at the moment. No goals to report, but it's an interesting encounter between these two. We always know when it comes to the knockouts, it's never that easy. It's been a weird tournament. From the first week, all we had was 1-0 score lines. It was just nothing but 1-0 score lines. I wouldn't go on and say that this has been a superb tournament, but maybe it's building up to at least end well. It's now with Ouattara. Tries to bring a long ball onto the edge of the Tunisia box. Dragger with the last touch there with a header out for a throw-in for Burkina Faso. Greg asks, is it true that Lewis Hamilton is retiring from F1? Mercedes are going to sue him. I heard that a few weeks ago. Well, I think you need to reword that. Do you mean sue Hamilton? Because that would be news to me. I think you mean sue F1 or the FIA for the way that the championship was decided in that final race in Abu Dhabi, which gave Max Verstappen his first ever World Championship and defeated Hamilton from winning his 8th World Championship, which would have been a record breaker in the sport. Yet Hamilton hasn't committed yet. There's no guarantee he's going to race this season. I'll say this now, he's leaving it late because normally drivers are already decided by now of who's going to race in the upcoming season. Season starts in mid-March in Bahrain, and normally in February time all the cars get revealed for the season. So, it's just weeks away really, the new season. The pre-season testing as well is normally in February. But I think Hamilton will do another season. I think what's making him potentially leave is that he doesn't have trust in FIA and the race control team, which involves the main man, Michael Massey. And Michael Massey, he did kind of screw it up, but at the same time, there's, you know, you could say it was great for TV, great for entertainment, great for the drama. Here comes Atara, shot straight at Ben Said. It's a shot on target, not much of a threat really, but it's a shot on target. But still goalless. But yes, there are rumours coming out that Michael Massey might not be in charge of the races. Well, probably sacked before the season starts. But I feel like they need to make changes. Oh, shot straight at Coffee there. That was a shot on target for Tunisia. But I do feel like the FIA are going to make these changes, because if they want to keep Hamilton in, I feel like they have to, so that Hamilton can kind of trust them again. But I don't think Hamilton should leave because of that. He shouldn't end it like that. I know he's won 7 World Championships. He's a great racer, an absolute icon towards F1, but I'm sure he'll give it another go. It'll be interesting. He's got George Russell as his teammate, a fellow Brit, and a potential future world champion himself. But yeah, we'll see. I can't see him leaving. I feel like he'd leave it too late. And let's not forget, if he left, Mercedes have to find a replacement. Shouldn't be a problem to find a replacement, but let's be honest, it's not going to replace Lewis Hamilton. Luke says, potential to have a Mane versus Salah final at the Africa Cup of Nations. Yes. Senegal play tomorrow. Egypt play tomorrow. But they play for Liverpool. And that might mean they're going to be shit. No, I'm joking. I don't know where I'm going with this. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Egypt aren't great to watch. I feel like they've kind of dragged themselves through it so far, and at some point you're going to get found out unless you change things on that pitch, and they've got to change their ways tomorrow. I think maybe Cameroon are the favourites for this tournament, just because of the home advantage. There's not an obvious team for me in this tournament so far. It's been a bit of a mixed bag. Oh dear. 45-yard shot there. Goes way over the crossbar. And that involves the Burkina Faso man on the thumbnail and on our watch-along page here. But yeah, potential Mane Salah final, which would mean another weekend missed with Liverpool. But it is the FA Cup next weekend, so I'm sure they'll be okay without him, because they're only playing Cardiff, aren't they, at Anfield? Greg says, well, Lewis has been lucky for what he did, amount of things he'd done last season. You might have to reword that, Greg. I'm not sure what you mean. Be interesting to see how Red Bull and Verstappen maintain their car in the World Championship for the upcoming season. I honestly have this theory that Ferrari could be... I honestly think Ferrari could be the dark horse, because they didn't focus that much on their car last season. With these new regulations, I have a feeling that they've got something up their sleeve for this new season. And it's been a long time since Ferrari have had a world champion. So about, well, just over a minute to go until we reach half time, unless there's any stoppage time. There's been a yellow card for Coffee, the Burkina Faso goalkeeper. Now, if I'm correct, that's the first booking of the game. And because of that booking, it's just outside the box here. And Tunisia's number 10 will take it. So it's literally just on the edge of the box on the left wing. And I'm sure just a simple ball into the box and try and find one of the players in red to header the ball home, which would be a great way to end the first half and to go 1-0 up here. As I said, it's been quite an even game. So, referee just having to tell one or two players in the group there to just stop pushing each other. I never understand why the referee pauses for that. I'd wait until the free kick's taken, and then if there's a foul, you just get on with it. Free kick deflected off the Burkina Faso wall. It's gone behind for a corner. 20 seconds left. But if you're new to the channel, folks, don't forget to subscribe to Let's Talk Sport. It's free to do so. You're just simply following us on YouTube for our latest watch-alongs and content. So yeah, keep an eye out for our future stuff. More watch-alongs to come this weekend. This is the first of many. Burkina Faso entered the defender corner here, and it's gone out for a throw-in on the near side, and that's for Tunisia. 2 minutes of added time they've given. Not a bad corner in, but just no one getting to the end of it properly. Already a minute gone of the stoppage time. Could just do with maybe seeing one or two more shots on target from either side. Maybe make the goalkeepers work a bit harder. It's a very even game, this. And as you can see from my prediction below, my original scoreline prediction, I went for Tunisia win at 2-1, but after extra time. So, ooh, was that a late challenge, or was that just going to be a throw-in for Tunisia? I think it will just be a throw-in. Bayala with the tackle. Duda says, Jamie, you're back. Hello, Duda. Hope you're well. I think I last spoke to you in one of our watch-alongs last weekend. Now Sangir for Burkina Faso. Ball now on the halfway line. Altaro goes down, but it's a good through ball forward. He's not offside, I don't think. Can he go for goal? He has a shot and he scores. I think it will count as well. And we've got a goal just before half-time, and it's Burkina Faso who draw first blood. It was a great through ball from the halfway line to him. He got in behind the defenders. He took a step back, he then had the defenders in front of him, but still with his left foot he found the bottom left corner of the net. The Burkina Faso fans are dancing and waving the flags, they're waving the colours. And so far Burkina Faso, I'm sure, will pretty much go to half time with them leading this game, and they are just 45 minutes away from reaching a Africa Cup of Nations semi-final. Now, they do have VAR at the Africa Cup of Nations this year. So, who knows? Will they get this checked out? Watching the replay here so far, my angle's tight from what I'm seeing, so I don't know if he's offside. They might just show it now. There was nothing wrong with the foul. There was no foul in the box. Nothing wrong with that. The referee seemed adamant. Yeah, 1-0. And straight away from the kickoff, half-time in Cameroon. And, yeah, I must admit, I thought we were going to go into half-time at all square, but instead, it's Burkina Faso who take the lead. And it's Tunisia who will need to find an equaliser in the second half. A big half-time team talk to come. And I say team talk, the Burkina Faso lot are in a huddle on the middle of the pitch already, which is quite amusing to see, especially when they've got to go into the tunnel at half time to hear from their manager and coaches and to make sure that they seal the deal in the second half. So anyway, as I said, half time, and we'll just let me just get rid of the clock for a moment. Oop, I've put the half time somewhere. There it is. I've moved it there for some reason. There we go. So yeah, half time, 1-0 to Burkina Faso. Let us know your thoughts, folks, of the match so far. I'll just update the scoreline on the title. But of course, looking at the poll vote right now, Tunisia are favourites at 57%, Burkina Faso at 43%. Of course, when you vote on that poll, that's it. You can't change your vote. So they are quite adamant, these votes. Anyway, we are going to have a quick break at half time, and then we'll be back for the second half as Tunisia will need to find a goal to get themselves back in this tournament. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a bit. we are back. Second half has begun. I must admit they started a lot quicker than I thought they would. There was a substitution for Tunisia, and hopefully I can just find that info for you. I'll just change my clock, it's a little bit behind. And we do have a yellow card for one of the Tunisian players while I mention the substitute. Let me just find out if I can find out what the substitution was. So Tunisia actually made 2 substitutions at half time. Ali Malal came on to replace Haddadi. And then Ben Slimani went off for Niam Sliti. So already Tunisia making a couple of changes in their bid to get this equaliser early, you could say. So anyway, at the moment, we currently have a corner for Burkina Faso. Now, next goal is crucial, because if Burkina Faso make it 2-0, that could be well and truly over for Tunisia. But if Tunisia are to equalise, then they might just force this game to go into extra time. If not decided after extra time, this game will go then to penalties. And of course, the last time we had a penalty shootout in this tournament was Ivory Coast versus Egypt, and it was Egypt that overcame them. And the winning penalty was from Mo Salah. But meanwhile, stoppage time goal in the first half for Burkina Faso is what separates the two sides. Here come Tunisia now. Ooh. Altaro wins the ball, but it looks like there was contact in the box, but the referee says play on, and now there's a through ball. Goalkeeper gets there though, just outside of his area. Was he offside? The referee's just paused and blown his whistle. I wonder if that's for a collision, I'm not sure. Yep, it was offside. So it wouldn't have counted if Burkina Faso had found a second goal. Now, looking back at the potential foul in the replay, it was just outside the box. So even if the referee had given it, he would have had to have given a free kick, not a penalty. And there is VAR at Africa Cup of Nations. Greg Livingston says, I need a beer, be right back. That was just before half time. It looks as though... What beer are you on, Greg? This is actually my second match that I'm watching today, folks. I was in Warsaw earlier today to watch a Women's FA Cup game between Aston Villa and Chelsea. I would say it was one-sided. Villa gave it a good go, but it was 2-0 at half-time to Chelsea, and then they won 3-1 at the end. Villa finally got a goal, but it wasn't until the last kick of the game from the penalty spot. By then it was already too late. Greg says, I am back with a beer, nice and cold. Which beer have you got, Greg? What did you get from the fridge? I thought you'd be on the blue WKD, because I know you enjoy that. So let's just quickly... go on the internet sharing screen. Now forgive me for the Australian Open logos, it's a bit random, but that's me setting up the stream for tomorrow for our men's Aussie Open final. But before we talk more about that, there's a chance here for Burkina Faso to make it 2-0. Shot on target from Bayala, but it's saved by Dylan Bron. And what a crucial save that will be. Free kick for Tunisia after all that in their own half. But if we look at what other matches are tomorrow in AFCON, let's have a look. Oh, no, not images. So, 2 more matches in this quarterfinals tomorrow. We've got Egypt versus Morocco at 3 o'clock, so that will most likely be me on that stream. And then in the evening we've got Seb True and Luke Tanner together at 7 PM for Senegal versus Equatorial Guinea. So be sure to join them for that. And also there'll be a watch along for Canada versus USA, which is tomorrow at 8:05 UK time, as it says here on Google. Now let's look at the table. Look at that big game that is in Canada. Canada a point ahead of USA, both on the same matches played. Canada haven't lost a game yet in the qualifications. But of course there's 8 teams in that group. USA second, Mexico a third. Mexico, I believe, are playing again this weekend. They're playing Costa Rica tomorrow night at 11 o'clock. So, you know, there's a lot of big games, a couple of big games coming up in the qualifications. Now, if I'm correct, I think the top 3 go through. I might be completely wrong there. But I'm sure we normally have 3 countries from the CONCACAF that can make it to the World Cup, but I might be off. Greg says that he is off the Blue Wicked for now. He has the choice of San Miguel or Copperberg. Can't go wrong. I'd probably go with the Copperberg if it was me having to choose tonight. I don't mind lager, but I like to avoid it if I can sometimes. So yeah, a lot of big matches tomorrow in terms of international football. Burkina Faso have a throw-in. Now into the box. It was a good flick header forward. Tunisia have dealt with it for now with Malou. I think it was Malou who was one of the substitutes. Now with Drager. Malou. Trying to get a cross in if he can. It's a low one, but it's stopped by Sangir. And Sangir takes the ball out of the box and boots it forward. Nearly found Otara, but he's lost the possession. Now with Kazari. Greg says, why is Honduras in the same qualification with Canada and USA? And also why are Mexico? No, they're all in the same group, as far as I'm aware. I don't think... It's a good question, actually. Because you do have a bit of a mix, because 2014 World Cup, USA and Mexico got to the World Cup along with Honduras. Or was it Costa Rica? Or was it both? I need to actually find out how many teams can... I'll tell you what. CONCACAF World Cup qualification. I could do really knowing for sure how this works. Find out from Wikipedia. So the CONCACAF qualifies road to Qatar this time, and it ends this March on the 30th, so that's when we should know for sure who will make the World Cup for the CONCACAF Federation. So in 2018, this was the one that was famous for the USA missing out because they lost to Trinidad and Tobago in the last game. So it looks as like they have them in 3 groups, but this time it's different, isn't it? Oh, hang on. So what happens is it looks as though they have them in 3 groups to start off with, and then if you make the top 2 of your group, you advance to the 5th round. And in the 5th round, well, in this 5th round, they had 6 teams in 2018, but from what we've seen for this year's qualification, it's 8 teams. Let's have a look at the actual current one. So they have a first round, which is, oh blimey, it's pretty much got 6 groups. And only if you're top of your group that you go through. Funny enough, Mexico aren't in there. I wonder if Mexico and USA were given a place regardless into the next round. And then the second round involves all 6 group winners having to play a 2-legged tie with each other. Pretty comfortable wins apart from Panama having to just win 2-1 there. And then in the 3rd round, this is what we're currently at now. And this is it. Look at, so the top 3 out of the 8 teams will go. Looks like it's just automatic qualification to the World Cup. But this is the one bit I don't get. Panama, if whoever finishes 4th basically, advances to the Interconfederation playoffs. Oh wow! So the Interconfederation playoff is between 4th place from the CONCACAF 3rd round, so at the moment it would be Panama, and they'd be against the OFC final winner, which is the Oceanian section of the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualification. Wow. The OFC final for this year. Let's have a look how they're doing it at the moment. That seems a bit. So basically, Oceania probably don't have any teams at the World Cup at all represented unless they win the penalty, unless they win against the Interconfederation. That is tough. That's interesting. I must admit, that's very interesting. I didn't know any of this. But funny enough, look, the matches are in Doha. So they play in Qatar. So whoever, if any of these nations get through to the World Cup finals, they get used to the Qatar environment before they even get there. So the Interconfederation playoff takes place either on the 13th or the 14th of June. The Interconfederation playoff was determined by a draw held on 26th of November 2021. The winner from OFC was drawn against the 4th place team from CONCACAF. The playoff is scheduled to be played as a single match in Qatar on either the 13th or the 14th. Interesting. So at the moment, they haven't played any games yet, so these matches will take place in March time. So you have 2 groups of 4 teams, and they involve Solomon Islands, Tahiti, Vanuatu, Cook Islands, New Zealand, New Caledonia, Fiji, and Papua New Guinea. Is this a new format? Has this always been a thing? It just shows how much I followed Oceania football. Huh. What was it like in 2018 then? In 2018, it looks as though... And let's play Interconfederation then, but here you go. New Zealand had to play Peru, which Peru's the South American team. So bizarre. This is all new to me. I did not know how that was determined. Now that I think about it, when you look at the last few World Cups, the last time we had New Zealand from Oceania be in a World Cup was 2010, so that was what, 12 years ago. So we've had 2 World Cups since then that we haven't seen them at. So basically, I guess the favourites to win that Oceania section is New Zealand, and at the moment they'll play Panama, and whoever wins between them two gets a late place to the World Cup. So wow, I didn't know that's how it works. You learn something new every day, folks. So anyway, tomorrow, Canada versus USA. One of them could go top of the group. USA a point behind Canada, and I think, to be honest with you, I do think there'll be a lot of more supporters for Canada, because we haven't seen Canada at a World Cup since 1986. But with that young group of players, they've got some talent there. Alphonso Davies from Bayern Munich, as we all know, my cousin. I haven't heard from him in a while, but Stuart is his cousin as well. You might think that this is a lie, but, you know, try and prove that I'm wrong. Meanwhile, back with this game, not much to report. It's been an hour now of this match, and at the moment, it is currently 1-0 still to Burkina Faso. So remember, if this is a draw after 90 minutes, we go into extra time, and if it's not decided then, we'll go into penalties. Tunisia have a corner here to look and find that equaliser. This could be a promising corner. It's deflected in the crowd. Has that gone behind? Yes, it has. Another corner. And that number 10 man, yet again. I think there might be calls for a handball in the box. Referee's telling the Tunisian players to just leave him alone for a minute. Maybe he is checking with the VAR team. If not a penalty, they should get a corner. It looks like from the replay at the angle I've just watched it at, I think it's hit the Burkina Faso defender in the chest, not his hand. Stuart Davis asking, you've been watching any of the England versus West Indies T20s? I haven't. We lost the series though, didn't we? They were on. I didn't realise how late they were going to be on. Like, okay, not too late. They started at 8 o'clock in the evenings, which most of the time that's good for me. I like to watch cricket at that time of night if we're playing abroad. But yeah, I completely missed them. Lost the series 2-1. We've got West Indies again in Test cricket in March. Tunisia have got a corner. It's all over the place. Burkina Faso have cleared it. No one up front for them. Tunisia's defenders should deal with the loose ball. Well, I say that they've given it away, but Ali Malol has also intercepted for Tunisia, and he's booted the ball up forward to the left wing. Burkina Faso, they know that they need a second goal just to be sure that they get a place in the semi-finals. But yes, the one thing I must admit, I've got until the end of April to book 7 days off from my full-time job, which are days I took that were carried over from last year in 2021. And I must admit, the temptation of booking a week off to go to the Caribbean and follow England for one of the tests is so tempting. But with travel restrictions and COVID and all that, it is a bit of a... You're just unsure. It's hard to plan even that far ahead, and it's only 2 months away. But I've always wanted to go and see England tour West Indies just because of the weather and the the sea, the beaches, the islands. Hell of a different world. I mean, the way England are playing in Test cricket at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if we lost the whole series to the West Indies. And no offence to the West Indies, but we're used to seeing them play a lot better in T20 and one-day international. Greg says, Jamie, you don't want extra time. No one wants extra time. Unless it's a great game. Oh, Stuart says they're playing again today, then tomorrow. At least these matches are close. Oh, so it must be a 5-match series. Oh. If they're playing tonight, I'll probably watch it after this match is done. But yeah, T20 is a great format in cricket. Here come Burkina Faso. It's on the left wing with Yago. Now on Taro. Ball in. Oh, big moment for Aoife. He had to get rid of it, and he did well. Stuck to his guns. Cleared it near the goal line. And if he wasn't there, I think there could have been a tap-in for Burkina Faso to double the lead. Great ball in. And you got to love crosses like that, because no matter what, there's no script. You've got to just get on with it and hope that you're in the right place at the right time. It's the one thing I love about crosses. You just don't know where it's going to go. And long balls into the box. No one knows where it's going to land. So free kick for Tunisia. Not sure why that was a free kick. So I guess that clearance was technically for nothing, because if they had scored, it wouldn't have counted. But I'm not really sure where the foul was, unless it was offside. Yeah, I think it might have been, actually. Ooh. Yellow card for the Burkina Faso defender. He's given away a dangerous free kick just outside the box. Oh, one of the Tunisian players has just pushed him away. Of course, heated moment. Now then, a chance here for Tunisia to get themselves back level. Stuart says, I'd love to do that too, mate. Not sure how easy it would be, like you said. He's on about if travelling to the Caribbean to go and see England's tour of the West Indies in Test cricket. I've always wanted to do it. I remember watching it a few years ago. Oh, free kick straight at the keeper. And he saved it, but it's gone behind for a corner on the far side. He keeps Burkina Faso in the lead for now. Big save. Looked like a double-handed save on the far post to keep it out. Good free kick. Corner. Where the hell's that gone? It's gone. All of a sudden, it's gone into their own half. There's a foul. There's a bit of a heated moment between a couple of these players at the moment. Lot on the line here. 22 minutes to go. Burkina Faso 1, Tunisia 0. Greg says that Honduras is a South America country, so why are they not qualifying with the other South American countries? Are they dead? I mean, I'll be honest, I'm going to sound dumb, but Stuart, if he's still watching, has a big atlas in his room where he normally streams with us on. So Stuart, if you can have a look, is Honduras in South America? Because Honduras, the last time they were at the World Cup, I think was in 2014, and I think they did qualify as a CONCACAF team. It's all a bit confusing. Like, as I said, the Oceania, like, I thought they at least had one automatic place for the World Cups, but maybe they don't, which is, I think that's kind of wrong. I think they should have at least one team representing Oceania at a World Cup, which would most likely be New Zealand. Australia, I think, used to be part of Oceania, but because it was always them qualifying, or it was a comfortable World Cup qualification for them, I think they decided to join Asia, along with Japan, Korea, and China, and all that. You know, quite a few good teams in there, especially Japan and Korea. Teams not to mess with. So I've just seen a tweet here from Fabrizio Romano, the Here We Go transfer man. He says that Brentford are still working to complete the Christian Eriksen deal as soon as possible. Important medical test needed, of course, but club's still waiting for Christian as priority. Contract on the table until end of the season, plus option to extend until June 2023. But yeah, Christian Eriksen, it'd be good to see him come back to the Premier League after what happened. Otaro's just won a throw in here. He's fall down to the ground. I don't know if that's because of the contact he had from Bron, the Tunisian defender, or if he's starting to really feel it out there. And as I say, the Burkina Faso have got a substitution about to take place, so maybe this is for the injured player. 20 minutes to go. Greg Livingston says, back on the Copperberg, the San Miguel tastes like shit. Yeah, I don't mind San Miguel. I prefer to drink something like that in the summer. When it's winter time like now, I like to drink ale instead. I'm not an ale... well, no, sorry. I'm not much of a lager fan. I used to think I was, but I'm not too fussed about lager. I think maybe it's just too fizzy for me. Normally I just drink it because most people will drink that in the pub that I'd go drinking with. But when I was at my local pub, The Lion, last weekend, I had their dark ale and it was awesome. But again, it's one of those, you can't drink too many of them, or you're going to have a long day the following. Greg says that Honduras is in Central America. I thought they were in South America, and I got B in geography. Don't worry, Greg. Not many of us really use our geography after we finish school. Geography, from what I can remember back at high school, was literally just print sticking stuff in a book and colouring. From what I can remember, wasn't the most exciting class. It seemed very repetitive. So less than 20 minutes to go. Tunisia need a goal, otherwise it'll be Burkina Faso going to the semi-finals with Cameroon after they beat Gambia 2-0 earlier today. The hosts still in it. They're 2 wins away from winning on home soil, and they'd be able to do what England couldn't do last summer in that final at Wembley. It still hurts me to this day, sadly. But hopefully Gareth Southgate can make it up to us with a World Cup win in Qatar come the weekend before Christmas on December 18th. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I can't see it happening, but that's easy to say though, isn't it? But as I said, if you've just joined us, there's still a few teams that need to qualify, and we'll be joining one of the World Cup qualifiers tomorrow night, Canada versus USA. Now here comes Canute. This could be a chance to seal the deal. No, lost the ball. Ladoune intercepting crucially there for Tunisia. Greg says, the reason I'm not drinking San Miguel because it's lager. I get pissed really easily if I drink lager. But if I drink cider, I'm okay. I don't get as pissed easily. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, once I've had a few more ciders than I would with lager, then yes, I would get pissed. But as my dad would say, cider tickles your brain. So I think cider's the one drink I hate to feel the morning after if I drink too many. Tunisia have just made a substitution. I think, from the top of my head, that's their 3rd sub of the game. I might be wrong, but I think in this tournament they can have 5 substitutions per game, which is pretty much the current rule in world football at the moment. Which, I say that, so if that is the case, that should be allowed. Steve Yago trying to go for a header. Now, a shot blocked on the edge of the box. Burkina Faso, you'd think they might try and park the bus between now and the end of this match with quarter of an hour to go, but they really are going for it. Another cross in the box, and that was a poor touch by the Burkina Faso forward, and Ben Said picked it up comfortably there. He's the Tunisian goalkeeper. Now Tunisia on the opposite side. Hazri. Hazri's going all the way. Good tackle in the box at the end. Had to be timed, otherwise Altara would have been penalised and would have given away a penalty. But looks as though he's hurt Hazri in the first place. Greg says, 4 logs and I am off my feet. Yeah, it doesn't take me much to get me off my feet. Which is good because it's cheap. But yeah, I like to think I know my limits. I say that and then I get pissed. And then I wake up the morning after and know it's going to be a long day. But yeah, thank God the restrictions have pretty much gone now here in England at least. I don't know what it's like in Scotland for Greg, but they're starting to remove restrictions. A bit slower than England when you compare the two, but you know, pubs being back open, bars, clubs, you name it. It's just good that we can now go back to these places again with friends and socialise and have a pint or two and have a laugh like we always should on the weekends when we get the chance. Greg asking what was the reason to have 5 substitutions in football. I think it was because of it came into place during lockdown when what do you call it, because of COVID, and I think because it was a lot of football going on, I think they wanted to make sure that teams could rest a few more players than normal with more substitutions. I don't know if it'll last forever. It might go after this season, but we have a VAR penalty check here for Tunisia. Now, I don't see what's wrong with the tackle. It is to tell you the truth, the tackles doesn't end well, but he got the ball. So I don't know how you can give that as a penalty. Got the ball way before his opponent to clear it. And I know his legs are up when he connects with the Tunisian forward of Hazri, but he was doing what was necessary in his best interest, which was to clear the ball in the box. Well, out the box, sorry, but it was in the box when he cleared it. Referee's going to check. It's a tough one, but I wouldn't. If it was me, I wouldn't give it. What's he going to say? He's checked. He's checked the monitor, by the way, so he's not getting this from his. No, he's giving it as a throw-in because he went out of play for a throw-in, and I think the referee's made the right decision. It is a nasty tackle afterwards, but he got the ball way before his opponent. Referee made the right decision there. Hazri's still on the pitch and he's able to carry on, so he's not injured. I think the referee's made the right choice there. Tunisia will be annoyed, but at the moment they are still 1-0 down. 12 minutes to go. Malou just telling his teammates to have their heads up and to carry on. They can still get themselves back in this. I think he's telling them. He's just trying to get their spirits going again. The time is ticking. Burkina Faso 1, Tunisia 0. More Africa Cup of Nations football tomorrow, as well as the Australian Open men's tennis final at 8:30 in the morning in the UK. We'll be doing a watch along in that. Me and Stuart Davis, as you've seen him on the live chat this evening. Yellow card for one of the Burkina Faso players. And they've got a free kick, Burkina Faso. Oh, excuse me. Greg says, what's the reason they have 5 substitutes? Because of head injuries or something? Maybe. That has been raised more. There's been more awareness in that, hasn't there? In the last couple of years, in terms of research from scientists saying that sadly some ex-footballers have suffered from dementia because of head injuries from heading a ball, which isn't good to hear. I'm sure they're right that that's the case, and I think all you can do is reduce heading in training. That's the only time you can control it, and I agree with that. You know, I think they've tried to make sure that you can't do it with kids. Kids can't do it at all. I think they've pretty much told anyone that coaches kids to make sure you rule out headers at all. I think it's more for when they get older that they can then start doing it. I've seen a few fouls here in the last few minutes and a few yellow cards given away by the referee. And this tournament, especially in the last 16 round, I think there was 8 matches in the last 16, and I think 6 out of the 8 matches had at least 1 red card. So one or two of them had 2 red cards. Absolutely bizarre. I've never seen a round like that in a major tournament before. Now, is there another VAR going on here? Or was the referee just pausing because the player's being checked out? I'm not sure. Well, they're checking a VAR again. Red card decision. So originally he gave a yellow card. Oh, I don't know how you can look at that as a red. He goes up in the air to go for the ball, and then his elbow hits the Tunisian opponent. Now, what's the referee going to do here? Check completed. And it is going to... Nope. Oh, he's removing the yellow and he's giving him a red. I don't know. I know it's an elbow to the head, but he didn't mean it. So Burkina Faso, with 8 minutes to go, are going to have to defend their 1-0 lead with 10 men. And it's Quatara who's going off here. And imagine for him, if Burkina Faso are to make the semi-finals in midweek, he will miss that game because of the red card. Been a lot of red cards in this tournament, and that's been added to the total. I don't have it in front of me, the tournament of red cards, but if anyone can find out for me, that would be great. But yeah, going back to headers in football, it'll never disappear. I just think it comes down to before matches or in training you can control it, but come the match you can't. You just can't. You can't get rid of headers. I think that would be a shame if they tried to do that in football. So what all they could do is basically, if you score with your head, they could just say it doesn't count because you headed it. But then, no, you can't get rid of it. I understand trying to reduce it in training, fair enough, and not to get the kids to start on it. Which, if that's the case, it'd be weird for kids when they get a bit older to then start really playing in training if they take football seriously, for example. And it's a throw-in for Tunisia. Tapsoba with the clearance in the box. And Tunisia making another substitution. And they've got to make the most out of it now. They're up against 10 men, Burkina Faso. 6 minutes left on the clock. And, of course, there will be a bit of added time, especially with the 2 big VAR checks we've had in the last 5 to 10 minutes. If you haven't yet, folks, do subscribe to Let's Talk Sport on YouTube. Give us a follow. It's free to click that subscribe button. No charges whatsoever. And you'll be up to date with our future streams and content videos, especially tomorrow. We start off the day with an 8:30am UK time start of Daniel Medvedev against Rafael Nadal in the Men's Australian Open final, the first Grand Slam final of the year. Of course, today Ash Barty of Australia winning on home soil, the first female Aussie player to win in Melbourne in 44 years. A long wait for them, but it's been worth the wait, I'm sure. Ash Barty winning her 3rd Grand Slam. She's now won the US Open, the French Open. No, sorry, she's won Wimbledon, the French Open and the Australian Open, but she hasn't won the US Open. I think the furthest she's ever got in the US Open in New York is the 4th round or something like that. She's not even been in a final, so could she do it this year and get all 4 Grand Slams under her belt? That would be some story. Oh, right, this is interesting. one of the substitute players who's wearing a bib has been given a yellow card. I'm not sure why. He must have said something to a player on the pitch or caused a problem towards the ref. Not really sure. I mean, they can do that towards a player or a manager. Something must have been said because he's behind the goal, just warming up in his bib. So, must have said something. Oh, good through ball, but that's surely offside. Yeah. Offside for Burkina Faso. A bit like Ifa will take the free kick quickly for Tunisia. Less than 4 minutes to go. But yes, that's first watch along tomorrow in the morning is the Aussie Open final with me and Stuart. Do join us for that. First tennis watch along. No, sorry, our second tennis watch along of the new year. I forgot a couple of weeks ago I did the Andy Murray Sydney final, which ended in straight sets against the Scotsman. Well, Tunisia now caught offside on the left wing. Some of the Tunisian players on their feet in the dugout, clearly nervous but wanting to show their support to their teammates in this hunt for an equaliser. Of course, Burkina Faso would love to try and get into another final and try and forget and replace what happened in 2013 when they made their only final and lost to Ivory Coast in South Africa on penalties. Ivory Coast out of the tournament after losing to Egypt on penalties in the last round. Burkina Faso ball into the box, cleared away. Big moment there. I thought they could have got the winner and sealed the place. For now, Tunisia really are just trying to keep this game going up until extra time at least and just keep their campaign going. Free kick for Burkina Faso on the halfway line. The manager applauds it. Anything to kill time now. Oh, Stuart says always a red card. I mean, did it look intentional though? Because when you go in the air and you move your arms about to make the header, I just think it's unfortunate that your opponent's head is nearby and sadly he was on the end of an elbow. Of course, it's not nice to see, but it just looks like an accident. I don't know. I'd understand a yellow card, but a straight red? If he already had a yellow card and it was a second yellow, of course I'd understand that, but it was a straight red. The problem I have with football these days, you can't touch anyone anymore. Not even just because of bookings, but like, a player falls over, that's it. It's a free kick to the team that's had the player fall over. It's just so frustrating. Now here come Tunisia. It's in the box. Tunisian players, they keep putting the cameras on them with the players on the bench, wearing their bibs, worried that these last few minutes is going to be the end of their campaign for another year. Tunisia won the Africa Cup of Nations. Last time they won it was in 2004. So nearly 20 years ago, 18 years ago. As I said, Burkina Faso have never won the tournament. Well, we've reached the 90 minutes. How much added time? Mr. Fourth Official, it's going to be 4 minutes of added time. I must admit, I thought it might be a little bit more because of how long those VAR checks took, but maybe he's right. Now, this could be it. Oh, nearly went through Burkina Faso. They've won a free kick anyway. That'll just help them bide their time. Just imagine if Tunisia do get an equaliser now in stoppage time. In terms of our Let's Talk Sports sweepstakes, Seb True, our good man who will be doing a AFCON watch-along tomorrow night with Luke, his team is Tunisia, so he's moments away from being out of the sweepstake. I'll feel his pain. I had Gambia and they went out today as well. I'll feel his pain. Is that a corner? It is a corner for Burkina Faso. Already a minute gone in this 4 minutes of added time. Normally I would do a man of the match, but I think that's hard to try and even come up with a nomination list, to be honest. So I'll leave it for today. What a wasted corner. Referee having to blow the whistle. Blown his whistle a few times there. I think it's going to be a free kick for Tunisia. They're just going to have to boot this as far up as they can in Burkina Faso's half. It's pretty much just a few yards away from the corner flag on the far side, this free kick. A few hot heads out there. Long ball forward for Tunisia. Straight to the hands of Coffee. Good goalkeeping. Very good goalkeeping. He's on the ground with it. He'll stay there as long as he can. The Tunisian bench look quite deflated now. I think they are fearing the worst. Coffee boots it out of his hands deep into the Tunisia half. One of the Tunisian defenders has headed it back to the goalkeeper into his hands. He's telling his teammates to go up, don't stay back. He says that and he plays a short pass to one of his defenders. Now the ball's in the centre circle with Ladouni. Now Dragger, Slitty. Cross comes in, nowhere near any of the teams that plays in red. Straight to the hands of Coffee. Is that the last chance for Tunisia? 3 minutes gone out of the 4. Straight to the keeper. No one near it at all. As you'd expect, Coffee's booted it long. Tunisia throwing on the far side. 30 seconds remaining. And even more good news for Burkina Faso. They've won a free kick in the centre circle in Tunisia's half. And they've ended it 10 seconds early and they've done it. Burkina Faso, the whole team run onto the pitch to celebrate a big win over Tunisia. 1-0 the scoreline. It was one goal enough to get them through to the last 4 in the midweek matches. Tunisia have nowhere to hide. It was a tight game, but that stoppage time goal in the first half proved to be the winner. Incredibly tight, a very interesting contest. But at the end of the day, it is Burkina Faso that are through and have beaten the 2004 Africa Cup of Nations champions. The end of the road is there here for Tunisia. And Burkina Faso are 1 win away from reaching the final a week on Sunday. 2 more semi-finals still to come in this tournament, but for now it is Burkina Faso who will celebrate. Not too much, there's still a lot of football for them to play before this tournament ends for them, but a fantastic win overall. Let's quickly go through the stats. In terms of Burkina Faso, let's not forget, they were down to 10 men for the last 15 minutes or so. So they defended well to make sure that they got the win still with 10 men on the field after Arataro got the red card. And let's not forget, Arataro was the man that he was the man that got the winning goal, and then he got sent off. So not what he hoped for at the end, and he won't be able to play in the semi-final, so he'll have to watch in the stands. But at the end of the day, he'll be delighted that he's helped his team get through. So looking at the stats, Burkina Faso, both Burkina Faso and Tunisia got 10 shots. Burkina Faso with more shots on target at 5-3. Possession was towards Tunisia at 61%, Burkina Faso at 39%. The passes is a lot more, as you'd expect, towards Tunisia. 402 passes and 260 passes for Burkina Faso. Fouls pretty much even, 17-16 towards Burkina Faso. 4 yellow cards for Burkina Faso and just the one for Tunisia. Altara being the only player that got the red card for the winning team. And 2 offsides each. And then 10 corners for Tunisia, while Burkina Faso had half of that at 5 corners. So anyway, I think we're going to come and wrap up there because I've got an early start tomorrow for our next watch along, and that is the US Open final, which is between Daniel Medvedev and Rafael Nadal. Can Medvedev win his second ever Grand Slam on top of his US Open success back in September, or can Rafael Nadal become a record breaker and become the first man in Grand Slam history to win 21 Grand Slams and go one ahead of Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic? So join me and Stuart Davis tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. That is British time, and we will look forward to seeing you then. Have a good night, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow.